Prologue. I've been underestimated my whole life, I say. Detective Bates is hunched over his paperwork, his shoulders rounded like a bear. He's far too big for the chair. I don't know why they don't give him a special one. Even the pen looks tiny in his hand. You have you? My sister used to say, sarcasm is when someone says something, but they mean the opposite, usually to make fun of you, but in a jokey way. Is Detective Bates being sarcastic? Probably. I am seated at a table that's been bolted to the floor in a nondescript interview room with no windows. The only sound, other than the scratching of Detective Bates's pen, is the fluorescent tube buzzing above my head. I'm not in handcuffs, but you get the sense there could be a yet after that statement. Also, I have a considerable amount of blood on me, and my Max Mara shirt is sticking to my skin. I tug at it. It's not my blood, so there's that. But still, the secret with blood is speed. You have to soak the fabric in cold water as soon as possible so the stain doesn't set. Can I go home now? Detective Bates looks up sharply.
Your house is a crime scene, Mrs. Davies.
I nod and use 2 fingers to dab at the corners of my eyes. He stares at me for a moment.
My apologies.
He reaches for a box of tissues and slides it over to me. I pull one out. Thank you.
My colleague will be back any minute and we can restart the interview. I apologize for the delay.
I understand. It's no problem. I say, folding the tissue, then gently pressing it under one eye, then the other. Detective Bates resumes writing his report. A clock on the wall ticks by. There's a bit of old Scotch tape stuck to the table, brittle and yellow with age. I peel one corner off with my fingernail. It breaks off, leaving a sticky smudge behind. What do you clean the table with? Again, that odd look.
I don't know. I don't do the cleaning.
Who does?
That'd be the cleaners.
Tell them to soak a cloth in white vinegar and leave it on for a few minutes. It will break down the stickiness. And if that doesn't work, mix a spoonful of baking soda with a bit of water to form a paste and gently scrub it with a sponge.
I'll be sure to pass it on.
He turns the page in front of him.
What's your occupation, Mrs. Davies?
I lean forward to peer down at the form. Make sure he gets it right. Housewife. 1. 2 weeks earlier.
They got married very fast, if you know what I mean.
I'm about to bring out a tray of whipped goat cheese tartlets with caramelized onion and thyme when I hear Meredith talk about me. I know it's me they're discussing because Roy and I did indeed get married very fast. Not even 3 months after we first met. I stood at the altar in my exquisite Elisab wedding dress, a thick gold wedding band encrusted with pave diamonds sliding onto my finger. I retreat behind the archway leading to the living room and listen. She's very pretty, Eileen says.
And very young, Meredith says. 20 years younger than him, I'd say.
Typical, Eileen mumbles. Deborah was barely in her grave, Barb says. But why so soon? Eileen asks.
She was pregnant, didn't you know? Meredith says.
Jodie was pregnant? Eileen asks.
Yes. Right, well, that explains a lot, Barb laughs.
But she's not pregnant now, is she? Eileen says.
Apparently, she lost the baby, Meredith says. Then, sotto voce, she adds, they always do, don't they? Her type. As soon as they've got the ring on that finger, that baby magically disappears down the toilet. And I don't mind saying, thank God for that.
You want me to take that, Mrs. Davies? Marie says behind me, loud enough for the guests to hear. Marie is our housekeeper. I turn around and find her smirking at me. Not that I'm surprised, since she's always smirking at me. At first, I used to think it was a deformity, that maybe there was something wrong with her mouth, but then I've never seen her smirk at Roy. No, thank you, I've got it, I say, then walk through the arch with my tray and my head held high. I don't usually mind what people say about me, but in this